As promised, this episode we're completing all 31 days. Yes, all of them, of March 2025. And yes, as promised, Peanut the Pigeon will join us too, hopefully making it easier.
We'll see, Oscar, we'll see. And yes, welcome to the third installment of Whiskers and Oscar series, where they play through each month of daily challenges and arrows. Puzzle adventure.
Peanut has also joined us before. First, for our look into the relationship between humans and pigeons. Second, in the episode about pigeons' intelligence. And thirdly, in his own video, where he introduced us all to his charming little family.
Yeah, that little family mind as well. We'll discuss that later. But yes, if you want to give them a watch, there'll be a link in the description.
Now, with all that said, I'm Whiskers.
I'm Oscar.
I'm Peanut, and
let's get started.
I'll take this one.
Sure, be my guest.
You're just trying not to get a nightmare level, aren't you?
Yeah, is that a problem? Do you want it, Whiskers? Peanut?
No, I'm good, thank you.
No, you have it. Now, Peanut.
I'm listening.
Have you played this game before? Torty hadn't, and Frisky had sort of, but have you?
Yes, I have, actually. I've watched your other videos and played through some of the levels quite a lot now I think about it. I've played to around level 40 or so of the main game.
Level 40. Whiskers, and I haven't touched the main levels since the first video.
I know, we've been too focused on the daily challenges, but we should continue with them. Probably not on video, but in private, yes?
We should. Our content on arrows now is, like Whiskers said, focused on these daily challenges. Yet I would like to get back into them. I remember them being very fun, and there were no nightmare levels. So there's that.
Not yet anyway. You should know, Peanut. Were there any nightmare levels during your playthrough?
Can't remember. I don't think I paid attention to things like that. Although I did find some of the levels a little tough, so maybe, but I'm not sure. Sorry.
Oh, not good, but we'll have to see. Anyway, have you played any of the other months of daily challenges?
Yes, January and February of 2025, the ones you've made videos on, which I must admit helped quite a lot. I've also dabbled into January and February of this year and will complete March of both years too when the month's done.
You seem to really love this game, which I understand, as I to love it.
I find it relaxing. It's a nice break from the stress of raising 7 children.
What? Oh, finish the level. I wanted to ask about, oh well, next level.
Do you want to tackle this level, Peanut? Or should I?
I should, since it's only super hard. Who knows, the next may be a nightmare, so yes.
Thanks, I hope not.
Did you say before you have 7 children? I thought you only had 3.
Oh yes, Peely and I have conceived 4 more children since that video I made. And since we last spoke, and yes, as you may expect, raising 2 sets of twins born quite close together, along with having Walnut, Acorn, and Almond still living with us. Yeah, quite a hectic and stressful household. Yet in saying such, despite the way I make it sound, I wouldn't have things any different.
I guess that's what family is. Kids can and will cause you stress and problems, but at the end of the day, you love them and wouldn't want to live life without them.
Exactly. At times I wish it was just me and Pilly, or that they were all grown up, especially when they repeatedly cry for food. And even when you give them what they want, they still cry, over and over again. It's tough, real tough. Yet, like we've said already, when those thoughts creep in reality, I wouldn't want to live without them. Raising kids is a complicated thing, and something you only understand once you have them.
It sounds it. I can't imagine repeating that stressful and never-ending process over and over again. But I guess for you and others, once you're past that phase, the rewards of seeing them grow up and achieve their dreams and have kids of their own makes it all worth it.
Absolutely spot on, Oscar. It may be hard at first, but as you say, the rewards you receive for doing so are wonderful. You forget the stress and pain you went through, which is why some of us travel this path more than once. Perfect timing. I hope I didn't leave you, Whiskers, with a nightmare one. I know you don't mind them, but to start the session with one would be rough.
We'll have to just wait and see. I don't mind them as you said, but I'd prefer to ease myself into the game and not jump into the deep end right away. Well,
sorry about that, Whiskers. All the best.
That sucks. Good luck.
Might as well get one over with, I guess.
You've played at least twice as many nightmare levels as Whiskers and I, so on a scale of 1 to 10, Peanut, how would you rate the nightmare levels as a whole?
How much I like them, how hard do I find them? How much do I, what, Oscar?
Yes, everything. I was thinking in general, everything.
Right, everything. So anything about the nightmare levels my pigeon brain can come up with.
Got it.
First, how much do I like them? I'd say about a 8 or 9. I like the challenge, but if they were the only levels, it would become overwhelming.
Fair, but I'd put them more at a 5. I still don't like them, but they're growing on me.
A 7 or 8 for me. They're fun. I'm a fan, but I'm not crazy about them.
Second, how hard do I find them? For this, I'd say it's close to my enjoyment level. I'd rate it around a 7 or 8. I enjoy games in general that add a certain level of challenge. And as I said before, these levels offer that difficulty I like.
If they offer the challenge you enjoy, why have you given their difficulty around 7 or 8 and not a 9 or even a 10?
Because I found they became easier the more I completed. I know you're thinking, isn't that what's supposed to happen? The more you do something, the better you become, and yes, that is true. But I didn't feel the nightmare levels increased in difficulty. The more my skills improved, which is why I rated this section as a 7 or 8.
I hear your point. I found this true as well. The more I completed, the easier they became. I believe I even mentioned this to Oscar during one of our other playthroughs.
You did. It was when we played with Frisky. I remember you saying, the more nightmare levels you complete, the easier they become. The next one you get won't feel as stressful as the first. So I guess that's a reasonable placement.
There, a little rusty, but not too bad. Anyway, next level.
Good work.
Nice job, next level.
Back-to-back nightmare levels. Whose turn is it?
Yours.
Yes, I believe so. You first, me second, and Whiskers third, as Whiskers has just been...
Oh, to down another number to go.
Something I should mention about the nightmare levels I didn't before is that, to my knowledge, I never encountered any during the first 40 levels of the main game, only in the daily challenges.
Oscar, and I only completed up to level 20. I don't remember any.
Me neither. Since no one we know has played longer than you, Peanut, it's possible the nightmare levels appear later. Possibly level 50 or level 60, 70? I don't know.
Must be. I'm very confident these nightmare levels aren't only for the daily challenges. Very confident.
In 40 levels, there were no nightmare levels. Strange. In the 4 levels we've played today, we've had to. Both back to back. That doesn't add up.
In theory, what you say makes sense. I played the first 40 levels the game offers and received 0 nightmare levels, while in the 31 levels of, let's say, January 2025, there were multiple. Correct?
Yes.
Yes, go on.
Right. However, the main game is different to these daily challenges we're playing now. These are a collection of all the different specialized level types: hard, super hard, and of course nightmare, with, I'd say, the developers spreading them out evenly throughout the month. While the main game contains, I believe, an endless amount of levels, or at least a number in the thousands, so 40 levels is barely scratching the surface.
Really? An endless amount of levels? That seems... Really?
What Peanut says makes a lot of sense. There are many games like this, and the levels seem to continue on forever. Whether or not they do is unknown, but they go on long enough that you never reach the end.
Oh wow, really? Wow. So only playing to level 40 is nothing compared to what is available. I'm not surprised there were no nightmare levels. On topic. All done. No more for a while. That would be good.
My turn, a nice hard level. I haven't had anything so far today that wasn't a hard...
Wasn't March 2nd a super hard?
Oh yes, it was. It was silly me.
That's enough on nightmare levels. But I am interested in what levels 21 through 40 are like. I'd like a little idea of what to expect.
Come on, Oscar. We've established there are no nightmare levels, so why do you care? Let them be a surprise, and enjoy them as they come, spoiler-free.
I just want to prepare myself.
For what? There are no nightmare levels.
Don't stress yourself, Whiskers. Don't stress yourself. I won't go into any details. There are a couple of super hard levels, with level 40 being one. There are a few hard levels, but most are standard non-labeled levels, so not particularly challenging, but fun.
So nothing really to worry about. Good. Yet, looking back to our discussion from before, we decided that 40 level into this game is nothing. So it's not surprising the difficulty hadn't increased dramatically in 20 more levels.
See, I told you. What a waste of time.
That's a tad harsh, Whiskers, but I have to agree. We kind of established before that the first 40 levels weren't going to be particularly hard. Yet in saying so, there was no harm in asking.
Yeah, no harm, Whiskers.
Yeah, no harm, but useless in this case. We all knew the answer before the question, but whatever.
Whiskers next. Hopefully not a nightmare. You'd have 2, me none, and Oscar 1.
That'd suck.
Let's hope not.
That was close.
Close, but not the thing. Now, enough about the game. What have you been up to, Peanut? Anything interesting happened since we last spoke?
Well, as we briefly discussed before, we've had some new additions to our family. 2 separate sets of twins, Baru and Beach, the older set, and Malabar and Mongongo, the younger set.
Cool. Could we, and if it's not too personal, the audience see a picture of them?
Yes, we'd love to see them. Again, if you feel comfortable.
I don't see why not. I've already shown Walnut, Almond, and Acorn. Let me see. Hold on, there we are.
Cute!
Beautiful. You and Pilly should be proud.
Thank you. We are.
It must be a lot of work looking after 7 children.
Oh yes, it is. It certainly is. Yet, despite the amount of work it requires to raise children, especially needed for 7, the rewards you get for doing so makes the pain, problems, and stress worth it. Which, in essence, is what you two were alluding to before. Watching your children become adults and living their best life makes everything worth it.
It's like most things in life. The pain, stress, and problems you face are nothing compared to what awaits you on the other side. Take these nightmare levels. In Arrows, they're stressful and painful to complete. But when they're finished, you know you're one step closer to completing the month.
Not exactly what I was thinking, but sure, that works. Definitely very relevant and relatable for our current situation. Good job, I guess.
Anything else, Peanut, you wish to share? Hold that thought. Sorry about that. I just realized I'd nearly finished the level. Let's continue this discussion in the next level.
Sure suits me. No point waiting.
Anything else you with to share, Peanut, while I complete this?
Yes, actually, me, Peely, and the 7 kids recently moved house.
Nice.
Needed more space with the ever-growing family, I guess?
Yes and no. Yes, as the old place was becoming a little too snug for our liking. But no, as we also kind of just wanted to change. Yeah, as you said, the expanding family pushed us to finally commit and make the move.
So basically, you moved because you have 7 children.
Yes.
Could we and the viewers see it? Or is that too personal?
You two, yes. The viewers, no. Me and Peely don't feel comfortable showing the public our home. I know we did the old place, but since then, we've decided it's best not to.
Fair enough.
Privacy is important. I understand.
Thank you. Here it is.
Nice place. Looks cozy, hidden away, and safe. Nice.
Yes, but it doesn't look any bigger than your home from before. It possibly looks even smaller.
It's a lot bigger than it appears. A lot bigger. What you're seeing here is only the front room. There's a lot more behind it.
So your home is like Frisky's, small and unassuming on the outside, but inside it's massive and impressive.
I appreciate the compliment, but I wouldn't exactly call it massive and impressive, but thank you.
Anything else? Oh, happened again. Finished the level before we could continue. Oh well, next level.
Still no nightmare level for me. Weird, but I'm not complaining.
Lucky.
Don't start this again. Anything else interesting, Peanut? Leave Oscar to sulk by himself.
Don't worry, Oscar. I'll get one eventually. Anything interests? No, I don't think so. Yeah, that's it. I think we've covered everything.
That's anticlimactic. Although, now we can move into the section where we ask series of questions we've decided to ask every guest we're having on in this series.
Have we? I didn't agree to this, but okay. Sure, why not?
First question, what's your favorite video we've made? I know you've watched them all. You've told me so.
You are not wrong. I have to agree with Torty and say the toilet training one, I don't entirely know why I do. I'm not a cat, and I've never heard of a pigeon using the human toilet. Although, just because I've never heard of it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Who knows, maybe I could be the first. Maybe I could be the first pigeon in history to use the human toilet. Me, Peanut the Pigeon, father of 7, loving husband of Pilly, former manager of the Manifold Mallards, and now, the first pigeon in history to, most likely, use the human toilet. That certainly would be something.
It certainly would be. It would also be a very interesting video too.
It actually could be. I think many humans, cats, and of course pigeons would enjoy that. Though if you do make this video, please don't lose your head.
I understand your concern, Whiskers. The video could involve some interesting moments if not careful, but don't worry yourself, Whiskers. I am a grown pigeon and know what I'm doing. Don't worry. There we go, all done. That was an interesting conversation, ending with a potential new video. Good.
As I get this done, are there any other videos you've enjoyed? Or should Oscar carry on to question 2?
Other than the toilet training one and the videos featuring me, obviously. I don't know. Actually, Frisky's daily routine was one I really enjoyed. The editing and voiceover was very well done, and it was cool to see what Frisky gets up to while he's not recording with you.
I was really proud of him for having the courage to give everyone a look into his life. Keep in mind, some of it isn't part of his average day. He told me that he based the video on the day before, recording his voiceover.
Really? I guess that makes sense. He's likely not going to take a nap at the exact same time every day. Or the adventure with the neighbor's dog isn't something that happens every day either. Anyway, cool video. I also enjoyed the video where you two rated the things cats hate. I found your discussion about each just interesting. I also found the surprise one you added unexpectedly deep. I won't spoil what it is for those who haven't seen it, but that definitely took me by surprise.
We decided to add the extra one because we wanted to make this video different to the reaction it relates to. We also brought Frisky on board, as we wanted and needed someone to read the items to rate.
Was there any reason Frisky was chosen, or was it just because he was available?
I hate to admit it, but the latter is the reason. Not entirely, but mostly. We only decided to create that video at the last minute as we saw the concept was trending and wanted to join it. Part of the format was the off-screen narrator, and since both me and Whiskers were appearing in the video on camera, and none of our other friends at the time were available at such short notice, Frisky was the only one left.
In saying that, I think it turned out for the best. There's a special and unique chemistry between Oscar, Frisky, and myself. So for a last-minute video, I think it turned out quite good. Even one of our best, if I may say so myself.
Yes, it's surprisingly one of my favorites, especially as it wasn't one we were planning to make. Funny that.
As Whiskers finishes up the level, do you remember what video you were going to make instead?
No.
No, it was too long ago. Probably our ship's cat video with Captain Boots, but no, too long ago.
That's a shame, but understandable. I can't remember what I was doing around 9 months ago. Anyway, next level.
Wait, is this Peanut's first nightmare level?
No, it's your second.
Oh,
Somehow this has become a normal of the series, a sort of unintentional inside joke at this point. But if you want Oscar, I could take this level since I haven't had a nightmare one at this point, and you have the one following this. Deal?
deal. Thanks.
Right then.
What was all that about? That normal of this series, unintentional inside joke stuff.
Nothing really. I've noticed throughout the series that at some point in every episode, there's a moment where Oscar complains about having too many nightmare levels and someone else not completing enough. Whiskers in episode 1, actually Oscar was the one in episode 2, but complained when fulfilling his promise to complete it. Whiskers again in episode 3 and me in this episode.
Not surprised this is a running theme. Oscar complains non-stop about these nightmare levels over and over again, ever since we've started these daily challenges. Frisky pointed this out when he played with us. It's getting a little over the top. Let's stop talking about nightmare levels. It's getting a little out of hand.
Sorry, I didn't realize you two felt that way. I thought everyone was enjoying the conversations. I'll stop if you want me to.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Now, the second question in our little questionnaire. Is there anyone you've met through this little project of ours that you keep in touch with outside the videos?
Wow, that's a lot to ponder. That's a lot.
Take your time. That's quite the question.
Let's see. Oh, well, have to wait for next level, sorry. Very strategic of you, Oscar, swapping a nightmare for super hard. Well done.
Clever me. Now the question again. Is there anyone you've met through this little project of ours that you keep in touch with outside the videos?
Yes, the question. Well, I know Crocodile and continue to see him from time to time, but that obviously doesn't count as I've known him before either of us met you two. But apart from him, I'd say Captain Boots is someone I'm quite close with. And the kids, as well as Pilly and myself, enjoy hearing about his adventures from his time on the MS Oceanic Freightmaster. And the other one is Professor Oja Saltons, who's helped teach my children, as well as me, in Peely Spanish, which is cool. I keep in contact with the other members of the cast, but those two are who I've got a special relationship with.
Cool. It's nice we've been able to introduce felines into your life that have had such a positive impact on you and your family. I've picked up some Spanish from Oyo Saltones, and we'll definitely ask the captain about his time at sea when he appears on the show.
Same. I was already well adept in the language before meeting Professor Oyo Saltones, as our episode with him demonstrated, but speaking with the professor helped me learn more about it than I did before. And we'll certainly ask and dive into Captain Boots' time at sea. That'll be very fascinating.
Do you want to show your skills, Peanut, by signing off the level in Spanish?
Yes, I'd like to hear this.
All right. Nivo once completado. Pasimos al nivel doce.
As I complete this, I want to ask you, Peanut.
Sure, what is it?
You briefly mentioned your long-time relationship with Crocodile. For those unaware, is the guest from our unique Duck Breeds video.
Which you should check out if you haven't.
Yes, anyway, as I was saying, I want to know your side of the story of how you and Crocodile met. We've heard his side. Now let's hear yours.
You're right, Crocodile's told the story from his perspective, but not me. Now then, as Crocodile said, he and the Manifold Mallards were performing their aforementioned show at a favorite local club of mine named The Passenger Pigeon. I'm not sure why Crocodile didn't mention the name, but oh well. Anyway, the reason I even went out that night was because I felt I needed something to calm the stress I was experiencing from the breakup of my, as you know, previous band, the Pitiful Pigeons. Ironic, you could say. As I entered the club, my pitiful state started to lift once I sensed the music drifting from the stage. I joined the audience that had gathered in front of the performers. This was my first interaction with Crocodile. An individual that by the end of the night would change my life as much as I'd change his.
Sorry, Peanut. I've just finished the level.
Have you? Oh, I must have zoned out. That happens when you reminisce.
I didn't notice either. Let's stop all this talking and get on to the next level. I want to hear the rest of the story.
After the show, I saw Crocodile sitting at the bar enjoying a drink, yet I noticed he looked sad, stressed, and like I did before, pitiful. As Crocodile stated in his retelling, I perched down beside him and inquired of his well-being. You're Crocodile, aren't you? I just saw you perform. It was a great show, but what's wrong? Crocodile turned and replied, I am, and thank you. Then, for whatever his reasons, lamented lugubriously to me about the troubles the manifold mallards were having, something neither Crocodile nor me know why he did to this day. But as I stated at the end of the last level, this night changed both our lives forever.
I remember when Crocodile told this. It must have been weird knowing you had the answers to his problems, while Crocodile only knew you as a wing to cry on.
It must have been surreal. A manager looking for a new talent, and a talent looking for a new manager. It was perfect.
It was perfect, wasn't it? Weird. Right, back to the story. As you probably guessed, from our conversation just now or from the predicament I was in at the time, I informed Crocodile of my career path and my desire to manage a new talent, with the manifold mallards a possible candidate. Crocodile was awestruck at my proposal. He couldn't believe his luck. Yet Crocodile wasn't fully convinced, seeing my recent departure and the collapse of the pitiful pigeons as a note of suspicion.
Not again. Another cliffhanger.
I don't know why you're so upset. Well, just hear it next level.
Which will start now. However, as Crocodile said in his version, I was able to calm his doubts after explaining how my previous talent's disintegration was due to egos clashing, rather any mismanagement on my part.
I'd like to know the details on why the pitiful pigeons collapsed. Neither Crocodile nor you have explained that.
It's none of our business. That's why. It also has no importance to the story at paw. And finally, it's likely a very personal situation, and neither feel comfortable retelling it.
It's nothing like that, Whiskers. Crocodile didn't tell it because he doesn't know the details, only the basics. I guess he just put two and two together and understood what happened. Possibly he's dealt with similar problems in the manifold mallards. I don't know. Basically what happened is the singer and front bird of the band wanted a larger cut of the royalties, seeing himself as more essential than everyone else, which the others disagreed with. Then the guitarist wanted to become the front bird of the band, seeing herself as more talented than the rest, which again the others disagreed with. Then the drummer pointed the finger at me, claiming the trouble was my responsibility, which again the others disagreed with. And finally, the keyboardist placed the blame for all the trouble on the other members, plus proposed they should earn more royalties and become the front bird, seeing themselves as the most humble of the four, which like all the times before, the others disagreed with. So yeah, quite the kerfuffle.
It sounds it.
I couldn't even keep up with all that. It must have been horrible being in the middle of all that. I'm not surprised you moved on from that.
Exactly. I'm not surprised the band completely dissolved. I guess no one wanted to manage them. Understandable after all I just said. But anyway, back to the story. Or not, we'll continue next level instead.
Oh.
Don't worry, I've got this. As you were saying.
Yes, well, after convincing Crocodile of my competence and capabilities as a manager, Crocodile agreed to hire me as the new manager of the Manifold Mallards, as long as the other members, Alligator, Cayman, and Gorille agreed to, which they did. A nice change after what I'd just been through. Pleasant to see all band members on the same page again. With everything official, I booked the Manifold Mallards for a number of venues and festivals, as well as a couple of business opportunities I had before lined up for the pitiful Pigeons, which of course fell through following our falling out.
No bird seed?
No bird seed.
No, but you did help Crocodile and the Manifold Mallards collaborate with Maven Raven, the Seagull Quartet, and Citizens, who I've been told are quite big deals.
Who?
They're well known to birds, not really to anyone else. That's why you've never heard of them. I've also seen a decent range of merchandise from Peanut's time as manager. T-shirts, stickers, pins and badges, and even a partnership with the trendy streetwear brand, Moldcrest.
I remember that. That was huge. I remember how excited the band was. I'm surprised Crocodile didn't mention it.
I've never heard of it.
Again, this is something birds are really only familiar with. Moldcrest is one of the biggest and like Whisker said, trendiest clothing brands for birds. We were only able to collaborate with them because the owner and founder, Nichols Nikobar, is a huge fan of the band. Otherwise, we would have had no chance at anything of that scale.
By the sounds of it, it seems like you lot struck it lucky getting that.
You were. Sounds like Moldcrest and Nichols Nikobar are bigger than I thought.
We were, weren't we?
We'll have to finish the story next level.
Hopefully, we don't end with any annoying cliffhangers.
Yet after around 2 or 3 years closer to the latter than the former, my time touring and working with the Manifold Mallards came to an end. This time not from the band collapsing under the weight of the members' enormous egos, but because on our tour of Dovecote Bay, the area my family and I now reside, I met a young local stage wing we'd hired, a fellow pigeon named Pilly.
Pilly.
Yes, that Pilly, the mother of my 7 children. Pilly.
I'm not sure why you're surprised, Oscar. Peanuts told us before, and Crocodile stated it in his retelling that Peanut and Pilly met while he was touring with the group.
Oh, right, they did. I forgot.
No problem, Oscar. Anyway, Pilly and I became increasingly closer during this tour, forming a very close relationship. Very close. As such, she joined us on all tours moving forward, although the amount of tours we joined the Manifold Mallards on were small. One, in fact. Since Pilly and I became engaged and married during the time between the Dovecote Bay shows and my last, the tour of Brantwood Wedge, with us deciding to leave show business behind and live a more peaceful and subdued life.
If you decided to retire, or semi-retire, from the entertainment industry after the Manifold Mallards tour of Dovecote Bay, why did you go on the Brantwood Wedge tour?
I was wondering that too. Your decision came between the two.
Good questions, let me explain.
Come on, really, another cliffhanger.
We'll just hear it next level.
As I was about to explain, why did I go on the Manifold Mallards Brantwood Wedge tour, despite deciding to retire before the group set off, and even before every show was fully booked? Because I felt I owed it to the guys. I'd only broken the news to them not long before the Brantwood shows. It was the least I could do.
It must have been a little awkward announcing your retirement right before going on tour.
If I'm being honest, it was kind of mean of you to do that. It could have ruined the tour. Crocodile, Alligator, Kaiman, and Gariel might have been worried about the band's future, which could have caused them to underperform, causing people and animals to believe the Manifold Mallards were finished, causing them to worry even more.
Wow.
Wow, okay. I'm not sure all that was necessary, but I get your point. I probably should have disclosed the news a little earlier or later. Although I only decided around the point I told them, but yeah, I should have arranged everything first before telling the 4. And we all could have discussed things after the Brantwood shows were over. That one's on me, but there's no point in dwelling on it. It's all in the past now. Nothing I can do. Actually, what I can do, and will do after we've finished here, is apologize to Crocodile, Alligator, Cayman, and Guriel individually. I don't know if they care anymore or even did in the first place, but I feel I owe them. It's the least I could do.
Sorry, Peanut. I didn't mean to upset you. I shouldn't have said what I said.
No, it's fine, Oscar, it's fine. I never thought about it that way. I never thought about how that could have affected them. I was too caught up in my life with Pilly and kind of forgot. I had an important job in the Manifold Mallards' careers. They relied on me. I helped them a lot over those 2 to 3 years. And for me to just abandon them like that, and right before a tour, it was rude, it was wrong, and I know that now. Thank you for helping me see that. I'll make it right.
Well, that took an unexpected and dark turn, but next level. If you wouldn't mind, Peanut, but as you mentioned before, you should have arranged everything first. Was that referring to you connecting the Manifold Mallards with their new and current manager, Sesame?
I don't mind. Need to finish the story after all. Now to answer your question, Whiskers. Yes, I was referring to the process of changing managing duties between me and Sesame, which I know Crocodile discussed in his retelling.
Process? Didn't you leave and they hired Sesame on your recommendation?
Yes, but I recommended and set up many interviews with many candidates to replace me managing the Manifold Mallards. It wasn't just Sesame.
Makes sense. It's just Crocodile didn't mention that, but I guess it should be obvious.
Yeah. What happened between you and the Manifold Mallards is an anomaly. It makes sense that this time round more candidates would be considered.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, despite my sudden and unexpected exit, I've remained quite close to all 4 members, Crocodile, Alligator, Cayman, and Guriel, especially Crocodile, which makes my rant from before kind of irrelevant and pointless, but oh well. And like Crocodile said in his narration, my family and him have enjoyed many, many occasions together. So yes, we've remained very close friends to this day.
Great story. It's nice to hear your perspective of things.
Yes. Now let's continue the questionnaire from before.
I thought we were finished with that, but okay, carry on.
Go on.
Right. Question 4. Oh, I guess we'll start next level. Whose turn is it? I've lost track again.
It's mine, I think. I don't know anymore either. I just completed levels as they come. Whiskers seems to know this.
You're right, it's your level, Peanut.
Okay, right then. You had something you'd wanted to ask me, Oscar?
Yes, the questionnaire. Is there anything about pigeons you'd think us and the viewers would find interesting?
This questionnaire of yours is just a way to stroke your ego and farm video ideas, isn't it, Oscar?
No, not at all. Just trying to connect with our guest and friend.
Leave it, Whiskers, it's fine. Now, anything interesting about pigeons we haven't touched on before? Let me see. A video, or even videos we should definitely make, are discussing topics related to homing pigeons. They have a very rich and interesting history. I'm sure many people and animals would find it interesting.
I think we might have briefly looked at this in some form during our other videos together, but I can't exactly remember.
I think we did too, but I can't remember either.
We probably did. Homing pigeons are closely related to those topics. Their job is only possible due to pigeons' high intelligence. And of course, they had this job because of humans' relationship with them. So yes, it's all linked. Yet, as you say, we've only very briefly touched on it. And I think it'd be pretty cool to explore homing pigeons in more detail.
Yes. Anything else?
Next level.
Any other pigeon-related topics we should explore? Or should we move on?
Anything else interesting about pigeons we haven't touched on? Let me see. No, nothing I can think of at this moment. No, I think anything you stumble across will be interesting. Pigeons are very fascinating creatures, so I believe anything you cover will be intriguing, regardless of what it is.
Cool. We'll keep a lookout. Nice.
Cool. This probably should have been the previous one. But whatever. Next question. How did you get into your choice of career? And how do your family feel about your career choice?
I don't think you've ever told us this. Good question, Oscar.
Yes, very good question. I don't think I've told this to anyone, even the kids. But good question. I'll start with how those in my life felt about my talent management career. Obviously, the children weren't born before I retired, so they're not applicable. And as you're well familiar with by now, Peely was a stage bird when we met, so she had no issue with my career. My siblings were skeptical, curious, and surprised all at the same time, but I don't think they really cared. My parents had a similar attitude, especially my father, who wanted me to pursue a more stable career. My mother was more supportive, although she was naturally a little concerned. Yet once I had my first talent, the mimicry lovebirds, their attitudes changed for the better.
Sounds about right. Sounds like the average reaction when someone follows a non-linear career path.
Yeah. Also, who are the mimicry lovebirds? I've never heard of them.
They are, or were, I'm not sure if they're still together, but nevertheless, they're a quartet of parrots, similar to the seagull quartet we mentioned before. Interestingly, the seagull quartet were possibly inspired by the mimicry lovebirds. Now, I think about it, both are very similar, I don't know. Anyway, how did I get into talent management? Well, we will have to wait for the next level to hear the tale. Now, how did I get into talent management? How did I get into it? It's quite an interesting story, actually, because despite how it sounded before, I never actually intended to pursue a career in this field. It just kind of happened. See, back in the day, some friends of mine started a band called the Syncopation Squabs, which they wanted me to manage, despite me having zero experience or contacts in this business.
Interesting. Why were you chosen for this role? Because as you say, you didn't seem qualified for the job. Couldn't anyone else do it?
In theory, yes, but out of the 6 of us, 4 could play instruments, and I guess my singing abilities weren't up to scratch, so that left me with the responsibility.
Why didn't you just hire someone more qualified in that case?
In hindsight, we probably should have, but we were dumb, young, and broke. Plus, I think we were just playing around. We didn't really think it would come to anything.
Did it?
Not really. The band lasted for a few months and played a few shows, but yeah, we never became the next big thing, unfortunately.
Something must have happened, because you ended up with a career in showbiz. You just told us you managed the mimicry lovebirds.
For the band, no. For me, yes. Somehow we managed to play at the festival, Birdsong Ava Forna, which is quite a big deal for us birds, and I still don't know how we did. But we did nonetheless, and another band playing that day was the Mimicry Lovebirds. 3 months after our performances, I was contacted by the singer of the Lovebirds, inquiring if I wanted to manage the band since theirs had quit for undisclosed reasons.
Weren't you managing, or had they broken up?
Yes, at that point the Syncopation Squabs had ended. I think they were distraught. Nothing came from their Birdsong Ava Fauna appearance. Very sad. Yet the Lovebirds must have seen something in me, I don't know what, but something, and wanted me to manage them moving forward. I agreed and everything took off from then.
It's sad they were so disappointed they gave up. I hope everything worked out for them in life.
As far as I'm aware, they're living happy and fulfilling lives, so yes, everything ended well.
Good.
Your career was just one lucky break after another, wasn't it?
It was, now I think about it. I certainly was.
Final question. What are your goals, if any, for this year?
That's deep.
Yes, well then that's a lot, wow. One thing I want to achieve this year, and for many years to come, is to be a good father and husband to PLE and our 7 children, which is kind of obvious, so I'll think of something else.
Not a bad goal, but fair enough. Anything else?
Weirdly, I'd actually like to return to show business, nothing massive at this point, and not to the Manifold Mallards. That ship's sailed already, but another group? Or something different, but similar maybe?
What about the Pitiful Pigeons?
They're finished. I told you before. They split not long after I left. Unless they reunited.
Would you if that happened?
No, probably not. the trauma and stress I experienced at the end of our relationship. No. But who knows, I may feel differently if that became reality. I can't say for sure.
Can't blame you. That breakup sounded messy, really messy. I wouldn't want to revisit the source.
Is there any reason for this seemingly sudden desire? Is it just simply because you miss it, or is there another reason?
These stupid cliffhangers again. Oh well, next level.
To repeat the question, is your sudden urge to return to show business the result of regretting your retirement or something else entirely?
Both, mostly the latter. I do, to an extent, miss my life in the world of entertainment, yet that's not the reason, and my interest isn't as sudden as you think. See, throughout his life, my oldest walnut has had an interest, very big, large in fact interest in music. And recently, along with his friends, has decided to start his own band named the Cinco Squabs, which he'd like me to manage. Understandable due to my experience and I'd like to say expertise in the field.
The Cinco Squas. That sounds a lot like...
Yes and no, that is no accident. Walnut asked if it was possible due to, well, like I said, the original is not active anymore. And with permission from my old friends, the new generation of the Syncopation Squabs, shortened to the Cinco Squabs, was born.
I wasn't expecting that. Now I understand the sudden interest in returning. You must be proud of him. But how do you feel about them using the name? Well, similar name. Does it bring any unpleasant memories or something?
Yes, I certainly am. But no, I'm not troubled in any way by the whole name thing, not at all. The original group's downfall, it wasn't traumatic, more tragic if anything. I just hope their group doesn't collapse like the Pitiful Pigeons did, but we'll just have to see and hope things end differently.
Is a collaboration with the Manifold Mallards in the pipeline?
We'll have to see. I'm sure Crocodile and the guys would love to. I'm just not sure if their styles would mix well. The Squabs are more electronic and the Mallards are more pop indie. But like I said, we'll just have to see. It might happen, it might not, but an attempt will definitely be made.
Nice. We'll look out for that.
Yes, good luck to them. Any other goals, or is that it?
Nothing really in particular, nothing really worth mentioning, just minor things, so those are the only major ones.
Right then, is there anything else anyone wants to discuss, or should we complete the remaining 6 levels as a montage?
Sure.
Sure, why not? I have nothing else to say.
All right, see you at the end of March 31st. There we are, all done.
Well done, everyone. Good job, team.
Another month down. March 2025 is officially completed.
Well, that's it. Another month done and dusted.
Thank you, Peanut, for joining us once again. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you for inviting me back. It's always a pleasure to spend time with you.
No problem. We always enjoy hanging out with you.
Absolutely. As we mentioned before, Peanut has appeared many times on the channel, so if that interests you, give the videos a look. They'll be linked in the description.
Also, don't forget to check out the other episodes in this series. The first where Whiskers and I completed levels 1 to 20 in the main game. The second, where Frisky joined us to complete the entire month of January 2025. And the third, with Dr. Torty, where we tackled February 2025. The playlist will be linked in the description and end screen.
Plus, before we part, don't forget to comment your thoughts. Drop the video a like and share it with all your friends and family.
And of course, don't forget to subscribe and tap that bell so you never miss the next episode of whatever we do.
On the topic of next episode, next time, our young cousins, Mike and Jimmy, will join Oscar and myself as we complete the full month of April 2025.
Wow, that was a lot, but until next time,
I'm Whiskers.
I'm Oscar.
I'm Peanut, and
Bye.
bye.